Hello and welcome. Today we are going to have a Lego room tour and a big update of all the little bits and pieces that I've been doing over the last couple of days, because obviously, like everybody else, it's getting close to Ninjago season because of the new Ninjago markets, and I'm trying to make room. So we have moved a lot of stuff. So if I pan around and show you, the Ninjago section's moved, the Rivendell stuff's moved, and the Star Wars stuff's all moved to start with. So we'll go over that in greater detail, but as I'm stood by the Marvel stuff, we'll go over any of the updates that we've got in here. Now, I have actually stopped for the day, so that does mean if you guys and girls got any ideas, you can let me know in the comment section as this video goes live tonight, and then I can carry on with this tomorrow, and hopefully I do have the Ninjago stuff in the right place. But what we did in the last update is we put the Quinjet up at the top and we put that on the top, and I think they both work nicely. But because of all the new announcements for the Batman, I thought, well, I'd see if I can add some of the vehicles hovering over the top and just see what that looks like, just as sort of a thing. And then we've got the tumbler at the bottom. Now this does, when it's all tidy, wrap all the way around. It comes through. We did have a really nice display outside of the front of the bugle, and then obviously the rows do carry on all the way down there, so it does look nice. But what I've had to do is I've moved so much is, of course, where I had some space, it's now turned into an absolute disaster zone. So what will be added here eventually will be the new Doctor Strange set. Keeping on the theme of Marvel, because obviously there's been a lot of new announcements, I've always had the intention behind me to add the new Spider-Man stuff. So mine is a T-Rex, because the T-Rex goes with the Jurassic Park gates just over there. That whole table is, again, a dumping zone because I've had to move so much and do so many unboxing videos like the Ninjago stuff. It just takes up a lot of space. So all of this, I was thinking of doing like a multiverse of madness where you've got the Spider-Man stuff, but you've also got all of the Lego movie stuff and some of the spaceship kind of things, either dangling from the ceiling and then either having them on taller stands, just like we've got on there as well. So what I will want to do, going back to the Batman quickly, I have pulled this stand out on purpose because this is the stand from here, and I think that might look quite nice for the new Bat wing, and we can have that hopefully over the top of what is obviously going to be the Gotham police station. Because if you didn't know, this whole display is one massive theme park. So if you think it looks a little bit odd and weird, that is the reason why. So this is our superhero section, which is obviously completely under construction. So we have all of that in there. If you've got any ideas of what I can do on this back table with regards to all the ships and how I can display them, because I've got the two Guardian ships just down at the bottom just there. I've got the Lego Movie Two-Fist, I've got Benny's spaceship, and then obviously the T-Rex is supposed to go over on that bit, but that's where we'll get to. Now, moving on to what potentially is one of the biggest, is it going to work or not? I have put the Ninjago City here, finally. Like I said, it was up at the shelf at the top. We'll get to that in a second. It goes city into docks, into the boat. Do we think that looks all right? Because that is what you lot are all going to see when we do the unboxing video. I think it's going to look quite smart. Now, I've left room for the two base plates for the new set, so that goes in there nicely, and then it wraps it round into obviously the gardens. Now, does now mean we can have, for the first ever time, a huge display on the inside of just stuff. So obviously the boat overhangs. It's a beautiful looking thing, and actually it looks really effective just from the side as well. We have got all of this at the back that we can see, and you can obviously wrap that round. It's very, very clever how it links in. So there is all of these have individual videos, so if you want to see these in much greater detail. And I'm also going to do a versus between this one and the gardens. This one is the docks, because it's things like this where as you come round, obviously one set finishes and one set starts, but it's very, very, very difficult to see where it is, because it is actually there on the step. So if I was to push them a little bit closer together, it would be a little bit tighter, and then you've got the bit just up at the top. So if I get it right in the gap, so you can see just that little gap there, I just need to make it a little bit closer, so you can see just where one finishes. So that is one set, the brown, and then that tan is the garden, so that is the city. So they look fantastic, and again, you can do the same thing here. So what you'll be able to do is that bit will connect straight onto that bit if you want to, so you can just make an L shape. So what I am hoping with the new set is where we're going to have it here, obviously it's very open in the middle, it does allow us loads of space on the inside, and then we do have the spring lantern set on the back. Now what I will do is obviously all the way down in a straight line, all of this now is now going to be the Ninjago stuff, because I think it just looks so much better here. The colours on this are beautiful. I don't know if it's coming through in the camera properly, but I think it looks really nice. Now this is where I need you guys to let me know. I struggle with roof height. You've got to take this into consideration because it comes down at a slope. So if you have got this set, this is basically as far back as it can come, and we haven't got too far until it hits the ceiling. I can't really put them anywhere else, and it's just going to be one of those. So I can either keep it on this side or move it to the other side of the table behind me, but I think I quite like them. I quite like them on there. So coming up and through the top, so a couple of big changes now. Actually, we'll go from what was here. So this actually used to be, or was in the process of being, the Star Wars display. So the Star Wars stuff was all going to be thrown in there. I had all of the Star Wars and the Indiana Jones stuff there. Bear in mind, I've done all of this in like the last day and a half, and it's ridiculously hot up here as well. So as we pan around and down, what we have in here is all of the sets thrown in. Obviously, it's all got to be tiled. You can imagine it's all going to be tiled, and it'll all be base plated down with the sand and things. What I can do is I can have either this dangling about. Obviously, it's a theme park area, but it's going to be our George Lucas Lounge is what this got named by Jay's Toy Collections UK, because what we will do is try and use some of these vehicles just down here. And what we can do is we can dot them in, and everybody can get some ice cream and different bits and pieces like that, because this is actually going to be a pizza oven. So we can have just different characters that you can get, some CMFs, and you can have some chefs and things, and then you can have all sorts of stuff going on. I don't know if that works there, but I think it might be the best place for it, because no matter where you put it, you're not going to see it, because the sets are just so shallow. They're just not very, very tall compared to anything else at all. And luckily they are all the same height. So in comparison, so if you were wondering, like, that's a standard 3-in-1. So obviously these aren't the biggest sets in the world. They're nice sets, but they're not the tallest. But that is taller than the Cantina, which is absolutely massive when that thing comes out. So the Cantina itself is longer than this table. It is huge when you open it up. But I thought actually it looks quite nice closed. And just here, we've got the front door, and then we can add in all sorts of little bits and pieces. Now, obviously, up at the back, you can see we have got the 2 Mandalorian ships, because I want to make this more of a Mandalorian kind of display rather than the Star Wars kind of thing. So we've got method to the madness, but what this does allow is at the highest part of the ceiling up here, I do have all the screw holes, which then means I can obviously just have those ships dangling down, and they'll be behind me when I'm doing the unboxing videos. Now, going from the Star Wars to Star Wars was there. This was, and never actually started, supposed to be the horror section. And this is where I basically got to. So this is where I'm going to need your help, because this is the disaster area. It's not gone to, well, it's gone to plan, but I'm not so much stuck. I've kind of just sort of run out of time. I don't know what to class this as. Yes, I know it's an Apocalypseburg set, and I know it looks absolutely stunning. And the new Spider-Man set, I think, is the same size as this head. And now, if that is the case, with the scaffolding around it, I think it works really, really well, because obviously a lot of people thought, well, if you had a neck and things with it, but if you look at how they would do that, it would be very, very difficult. So I think if that is the size, and I did say in the video that I did yesterday that the face looks exactly the same, they've just used brown hot dogs instead of green hot dogs and things like that, I think that would work really, really well for the new Spider-Man stuff. Now, this set came with unbelievable figures, and I mean, it came with the Suicide Squad Harley Quinn, which is one of the best minifigures I've seen, period. I mean, this thing is ridiculous. It's got print everywhere. It says Daddy's Little Monster on the front. She's got the fishnets. It is a really, really nice figure. It also comes with Batman, and it also comes with Green Lantern. And then you come with like a Wild Style, and you've got some other sort of bits and pieces. So do I have this as either a coffee shop, and we put it over with the Marvel stuff, or I say Marvel, the superhero section, because obviously that is the only good bit of the Lego Movie 2 film, where the Batman says you're welcome, and then the film was dreadful after that. But that is quite a cool thing. Do I use it as a office block with regards to maintenance shed within the theme park, or do we think it looks derelict enough to keep in the haunted house bit, or sorry, our terror section, our horror section, shall we say, where we've got the haunted house, then we have the Castle Grayskull itself, and then here we have got obviously the upside down. Now, the reason why I put the upside down there is I thought we would be able to make a path underneath the upside down, and then we would be able to link it in to the Jurassic Park. Now, all of this is waiting for the release and obviously sale price more than anything else of all of the Jurassic Park sets. So the Jurassic Park will go all the way through, and then it goes into the space stuff. But what you've got to remember is if I end up getting anything with Chris Pratt in for the Jurassic Park, it means I would have Chris Pratt here. I'd have Chris Pratt in the Lego Movie 1, Lego Movie 2, Guardians of the Galaxy, and Jurassic Park all in that corner. So we can have a little shrine to him if need be. Now, moving on that, I need you guys to let me know if you think it works here, because obviously the height, I need to know what we're doing with that, because I'm unsure. And then these three, I just kind of need to move and mess around ever so slightly. And we basically got a full table if we want it to mess around with, so we can do what we want with that. Moving on to the next bit, this is the bit I've just sort of touched. This is the sort of, well, this now I have no idea what I'm doing with. So we've got the old fishing store, and then we've got this. I might just make a water ride with this. Ideally, what I need is probably the 3-in-1 pirate roller coaster, and have the pirate roller coaster going around the outside of this, and just add in that, and it's just easy enough, and that's just your ride. Then another thing I did say in the video that I did yesterday with the Harry Potter train, not the massive UCS one which looks absolutely stunning, the new one that has come out, that has a different train station in. So would I, or should I, copy what they've done at Universal Studios, have a Harry Potter train station one end, Harry Potter train station the other, and then just the train track down the middle with the one train like they do, and it takes you to a completely different section. I know it's just going to go down the alleyway, but it mimics exactly what they've got at Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida. Let me know on that. Right, now we're coming into a lot of the space stuff. I say space, it's where we have a lot of space. So what I want is I want the loop roller coaster the other side. Now don't forget, they've also announced another roller coaster, which is the space stuff. Now I have got a lot of space sets back from, I think I got like all of the stuff from 97, maybe into the 98. So I could, if you guys think it would work well, make it quite a nice theming section of that. And I have just opened the space pack of all the minifigures as well, which look really, really nice. So we could do something quite cool with that, I think. So if that's to go in, we could throw that in somewhere around there, and we can kind of dissect the lands up off in this big table, or we just have everything track related. So obviously we've got the big coaster, and then we've got this thing up at the front, and then we'd have a 3-in-1 set. We could have a friends coaster. All of this table, either from this line all the way across, is just roller coaster stuff, and that's the things that you'd see behind me. Let me know what you think of that. Do I sort of try and dissect it up into smaller themed sections, or shall I just keep it as is, because this is now our long-term space. And the nice thing is, going back to the Star Wars stuff being just here, is that I can actually now reach, because the big problem I had was they were too tall. I couldn't actually reach the back of the wall. Now I can, because I have the pizza oven at the bottom. And yes, if you are eagle-eyed, that is the Batman that comes with the Apocalypse 2 set. That is a Harley Quinn that does not come, but that comes with a completely different set. She looks fantastic on that one as well. And I do have all of the Indiana Jones stuff just sort of hovering around and doing whatever. And I think it will work. I think that might work down there just for the height. The only other place it can go is obviously it goes just here on this table, and then we just put those two things just down there, and then we have two tables of basically pure water. And we either have some sort of waterfall thing behind it or something, so that be flipped up. But this is where you guys and girls are coming into it. Now, the big change is obviously the Rivendell. Now, the Rivendell was, like I said, just here. So hopefully you might be looking at some footage of me doing something random. We had all of this as the live stuff, and it was working really, really well. The only problem is that you guys couldn't see it when I was doing anything, because it was where they are. So that's the thing with them, you're not really going to see that bit, but I can. And I think it looks better with even more height up at the top. So what we have coming across, so we go from left to right, you've got the A-frame up at the top, because that's where we had it, and then you've got the treehouse, which I think looks smart, and then we have the nice little red leaves from the A-frame. Then what we were going to do is a rock climbing wall up at the front, and then we were going to make something on the grey. We have the Rivendell Rapids Yeah, I think there was 3 hours in that name, but I can't remember them, of them shooting down. So we were going to make that as a water ride. And then we've got the nice theming coming around, and we can just make this like a walk area. I think it looks smart. I think it will work. I think there's not too much to do apart from a little bit of tiling up there, because I can just add some sort of foliage and things. But are you guys and girls happy with it up there? Do you think it looks nice up there? And the other thing is I've just put 2 parts of the Rivendell just there. And then we have the other part just down there, so it's completely split up. So we've also got the Monkey Kid waterfall at the back. There goes Rivendell. Then you've got the waterfall. Then you've got some more trees from the A-frame. And then you've got a load of DVDs with the 32 by 32. Now, this links on, actually, thinking about the rock climbing wall, to the new set that's going to be coming out, which is the ski slope. Because there's obviously going to be a ski slope coming down, which, it sounds a bit random being in a theme park, but in Billund, because obviously I try and do a load of Lego videos, and I try and do as much travel stuff for you guys and girls. So if you've not seen them out, if you've not seen any of them on the channel, hunt those down. But in Lalandia, which is literally next door, or should I say over the road, it's next door to the Legoland Holiday Village. Directly over the road, near enough, give or take, is the Legoland Castle Hotel, and then you've actually got the Legoland, so it's all within like a 5-minute walk. Walking around Lalandia, you have different zones within the walkway, and you literally walk past the entrance to the Aquadome, and then you go into a permanent winter wonderland, which has an ice skating rink, which we could easily do, but it also has a ski slope and a rock climbing wall side by side within the same bit, basically exactly the same as how that set is. So you could have the rock climbing wall somewhere, and then we've got the space track as well. Now, if we did that, the only thing I can think of for the rock climbing wall and the ski bit is past and going back into this corner here, where we've got the fun bit, and then it's that corner in here, and then we've got all of the little fun fair stuff up at the front, and then we can just do like a fun fair corner. So you've got like the 3-in-1 set just there. Obviously the 3-in-1 set that's just over in this side, that can be used over in there. I don't know, because we did all this, we started doing all the lives, and everybody knew that Lego were going to be releasing quite a few sets this year, but the amount, as everybody can gather, that they're releasing is mental. But at least this way we should be good with regards to designs. On my list is the ski slope, the space roller coaster, because I think they both work. I want obviously the Ninjago Gardens at some point, hence why I'm making space, because that thing is absolutely monstrous. And I'm very, very lucky and privileged to be able to have the actual Ninjago City and the docks. And what's going to be even more painful for some people is I actually picked these both up from a different toy shop in a sale as well. So I got these for a very, very good price, and I have fantastic memories of putting these together. So that is that. And then obviously that kind of then maybe leads us on back to here, and the bat cave, which isn't kind of a bat cave because it's more of a display thing. I just wish, instead of it being an open bit, you could just remove the front. That's all I wanted. If you could just remove the front, it was a little bit deeper. I could have used that lovely, but the fact that it opens up as much as it does, I can't really use it, I don't think, in what I want to do. So I have to look at the sets, and I want to buy the sets that I want to get for my own thing, which, like I said, is a big theme park. But like I said, I'm gonna go quiet now. I'm gonna let you guys and girls type away. Let me know what you think with regards to what will work. Do we like the Ninjago stuff there? Do we think it'll be nice as a big display? There's obviously a lot of new Ninjago sets coming out, and don't forget there's a lot of Monkey Kid sets coming out as well. So the final option, well, it's not really that bad, is that another table can fit here. So if we wanted to, we could either drop this down, and then we have sort of like a downtown, that kind of theming it as well, where we've got the Ninjago Monkey Kid downtown area, and it literally stops at the gardens just here, and then we have all the little bits behind it, or we push everything forward or push everything back, and then this table just becomes something else. But we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out as we go. But guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this little update. I've waffled on far too long, but it was just, there's been a lot of changes. So let us know in the comments below what you think. But if you can like this video and subscribe to the channel, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Let us know what you're going to be getting very, very soon, and if you're making any space for anything whatsoever. And like I said, plenty of videos on the channel for all of the other little bits and pieces as well. But guys, as always, thank you very much for watching. You know, take care, and I have to get you to the next one. Ta-da.